Hi, I'm Karen and I'm the director of the Black Panther Hotel. Our hotel has 250 guest rooms, a restaurant, it is city-based and it has 4 stars. The reason why we chose to run a 4-star business hotel is that the outlook for the next 4 quarters significantly pointed towards an increase of short-term business travelers needing accommodation and event facilities in our area. In Q1, new corporate HQ would increase the corporate and business demand. A new discount airline becoming operational in Q2 was a hint for us that there would be a further increase in business travelers. Q3 and 4 predicted a further increase in corporate travelers as well as small groups. Now, regarding our pricing strategy, we wanted to start with a scheme price strategy as we started high, but in the end, after 1 month, we decided to change to a competition-based strategy. As you could see, we were based ourselves on the market and we went high in the high season and low in the low season.
Hey, I'm Ambras and I'm the director of sales. I'm going to talk about the performance of our hotel. After choosing to go for a business hotel, we invested in refurbishing our meeting rooms at the beginning. This, among other investments, led us to having a net loss in January and February, which was also low season, which meant lower occupancy and lower revenue. Since our occupancy was low, we forcefully decided to kick up our prices early on. However, our hotel was not up to the standards promised in the price. Therefore, we had a lower occupancy index. Nonetheless, throughout the next few quarters, our net profit significantly and constantly increased from about 16,000 to 350,000 to even 708,000. We were able to adapt our prices to the rest of the industry and manage to up our standards as well. As seen on the graph, occupancy throughout the quarters fluctuated. While it was only at 56% in Q1, high season of Q2 and Q3 brought us to around 74% and 79% respectively. When high season ended, we successfully managed to stop our occupancy from dropping too much by offering good quality in our hotel and kept it from going below 64% in Q4.
So let's now talk about management strategy analysis. We invested a lot at the beginning of the year in the facilities and services to have a lot of profit. However, this is maybe not the best strategy that we used because in the end, the costs were higher than the profit margin. For example, in the month of December, the department comprised only 10% of the total revenue, while the expenses of the department was about 53% of those 10%. As well, we were not able to break even. In particular, as you can see here, the business center only brought in total 51,902 in year 1, while the capital investment was 250,000. So we could have spent the money improving the condition of the hotel, for example, renovations or soft goods redos to improve the quality of our hotel. We refurbished meetings room in January in anticipation of an increased business customers in Q2. However, we did not check the reputation management beforehand. As for example, meeting rooms were already 85% and we increased them to 100%, which we could have done later and not waste $150,000. We only cleaned premium rooms in October as we did not want to have premium rooms out of orders during the peak season, which is logical. Therefore, we were only able to enjoy better premium rooms for 1 month in December compared to other hotels which had already begun refurbishing other areas of their hotel and therefore had an overall higher quality than us.
Now about the pricing strategy. We made the mistake of using competition-based pricing, basing our prices on the average price of the competition set. However, we should have taken into consideration the quality of our hotel and set appropriate prices. Because we had spent most of our money on building the business center and refurbishing the meeting rooms, the quality of the rest of the facilities and services were rather poor at the beginning. This resulted in a poor price-value positioning with a high price and a low quality. Therefore, we tried to change our positioning by lowering down prices while increasing the quality constantly cleaning and refurbishing the hotel, and opting for more facilities and services. This paid off, as we were eventually able to put our hotel in the value for money category, with a slightly lower price and a slightly higher quality for December.
So my name is Kimberly and I am the Director of Revenue Management at the hotel. In terms of overall performance, our hotel did reasonably well. Even though there was a negative net profit in January and February, this is because our hotel was investing heavily in order to set the hotel up. In general, the hotel performed well, outperforming its comp set for 8 out of 12 of the months. However, it is interesting to note that even though we achieved our highest revenue and profit in August, our hotel underperformed against its comp set. This indicates that we did not manage the demand as well as our competitors and perhaps could have increased prices even further as the market was at its peak. Furthermore, our profit and revenue increased in December even though we were experiencing a downward trend from August. This is because we just finished cleaning our premium rooms, again signaling the importance of having good quality rooms, and therefore we should have maintained the quality from the beginning. Next, in general, the ARGI tends to follow the ARI line more closely. For example, when ARI increased from July, the RGI increased even though MPI decreased. This indicates that the hotel is perhaps more ADR driven than occupancy driven, and this is good because it is better to have a higher ADR than a higher occupancy because variable costs can be reduced, especially during low season, to increase profits with a higher ADR. Next, we analyzed the weekday versus weekend market share by the different segments. At the end of the period in December, we observed that generally we had a lower market share on weekends rather than weekdays. This is expected because we position ourselves as a business hotel and therefore would have more business guests on the weekdays rather than weekends. Nonetheless, we could have spent more advertising on the weekends, and also our pricing was lower for weekends for all segments except tour, large groups and small groups. This could explain the larger difference in market share between weekday and weekend for these segments compared to the others. We could have also offered the same, if not slightly lower prices to capture a bigger market share for these segments. Next, we can also compare these results with the beginning of the year in January, where we observed that we generally had higher market shares on weekends rather than weekdays. This shows that our positioning strategy was successful, as we see that, firstly, we successfully shifted our main clientele to weekday business clients, and secondly, the hotel had a higher overall market share in December, both for weekdays and weekends.
My name is Christopher and I'm the Director of Marketing at the Black Panther Hotel. Our decision process for Q1 was very simple and clear. We decided to go for 3 to 6% of our total revenue and add these into our marketing expenditure. However, we didn't follow up on this, so we didn't actually increase our marketing expenditure as our revenue went up. This was due to the fact that all our social media comments were kept saying that we were doing really well in marketing, and we kept staying on place number 1 in the marketing index. Now, when examining our channel profit contribution, we saw that our direct bookings will actually be able to retain 65% of their revenue. However, compared to our wholesale bookings, we were only able to retain 34% of the revenue. However, we compare this to our marketing expenditure. So, although we spent our highest dollar amount on the direct marketing, this was actually the smallest proportion. We only spent 3.1% of our direct revenue on direct marketing. Instead, we spent 7.1% of OTA revenue on OTA marketing. This was not the best decision that we made. The disproportionate mix shows that we should have spent more on direct channels to further drive revenues from them, as they were the most profitable channel that we have.
Hello, I'm Loris. I'm the Director of Development and Planning. In the short term, the hotel should strengthen the pricing and positioning strategy. Because the current team has been working on developing facilities and services for the guests, the next team should now focus on improving the reputation of the hotel to be able to slightly increase the prices to position the hotel as one of the high prices but also high quality. The hotel should particularly increase the reputation in 2 areas. First of all, the standard and premium rooms, because we noticed a rise in ADR and RevPAR simply with higher quality premium rooms between November and December. Second, they should also increase the reputation of the meeting rooms to reinforce the position as a good business hotel. This should also mean setting slightly higher prices during weekdays than weekends. The hotel should also pay attention to the high and low season. As seen in the graph, the season starts to pick up from January until it reaches top in August. Therefore, the hotel should slowly begin to increase prices from May until July and August, before lowering the prices down. It should also ensure that the standard premium and meeting rooms are at least 75% on reputation management by May so that it can justify the higher prices. In the long term, as the hotel becomes a recognized business hotel, it should focus on differentiating from the competitive set by emphasizing on the environmental program to position the hotel as an environmentally friendly one. This will allow the hotel to increase its ADR without compromising occupancy, as customers see the value in paying a premium for the hotel. Also, the hotel should save some available funds to invest in two key facilities for business clients. First of all, a fitness center, and second, an executive lounge. The fitness center, along with environmentally friendly image of the hotel, will further differentiate it as a wellness center, while the executive lounge will elevate the hotel's standing as a business hotel providing quality service.